Strike! Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
Nice move here. Hot dogs. Get your hot dogs here.
Hear ye, hear ye. We are reporting live from 2 Bucks in Eastlake for Honest Abe Sports Report. It's good to be back reporting live with you, gentlemen.
Been a minute.
But we will provide you with the various best sports coverage around. Tonight we are covering the NFL Draft along with some of the NBA playoffs. Please follow us across all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also find us on all listening platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and
iHeartRadio.
as always, I'm the sexy Gretzky, George Gretzko. I'm alongside a few sports enthusiasts who are football throwing, baseball bat swinging, basketball dribbling, swinging for the fence. It's a home run.
Pulling a hammy.
Yeah, Hammy's pulled. Speed racer Hunter Combs.
What's going on? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
He doesn't even have any hair to comb anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's all
Neither
gone.
do I. I've lost my hair.
Could have donated some to you.
Mr. Dilbert himself, Aaron Adams.
Hello, hello.
He told me he was going to dip out of tonight's show before.
No.
He said, he was like, I almost sent you a message saying I ain't coming.
Fortunately, that was fake news. Here he
Fake
is,
news.
in the
Fake
sled.
Sports Center. You know.
And I'm alongside Tito Round Tripper Baseball Whisperer, which does Talk and Tribe with Tito on Sunday evenings.
8:30.
8:30, damn right. Tito, how's your bat swinging tonight?
Oh, good, man. Watching out for the screwball and ready to drive some here.
Ready to drive some. I like it. Speed Racer looking awfully fast over there.
Ready for the Cavs to whoop some ass.
Cavs ass whooping. They're getting ready to
Hopefully it's a blowout.
get
quick.
into it.
We'll see.
I think if George was a baseball pitch, he'd be a knuckleball. He wouldn't have no rotation at all, like a Tim Wakefield.
Nope, I'm coming at you, fucking right at you, brother.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
No, you'd be a slurve ball. You'd be all over
Slurve.
the place. You'd be all over the place.
Fucking slur.
He'd be swerving with his slur.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Mr. Dilbert, how you doing on this lovely Monday? I'm going to turn this up really quick, but how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. We get to see here in a couple days. Well, a couple days in a day what's going to happen, and then the other day I'm excited for is schedule release. But we got to get the draft done first. So
Yes, let's get through the draft. But we will get into that here in a second. But let's start off with tonight's NBA show. The NBA playoffs, let's start with. The Cavs are currently playing right. They're going to be on right here in a second. They're up 1-0 on the Miami Heat in this series. I think the Cavs might sweep this one, guys. How you feeling about it?
If it goes over 5 games, then obviously lost at the last second on one of these games. But if this ain't a sweep, then I don't know. They beat themselves one game, but I don't see us lose. Like I said, I don't see us losing until the conference finals. So we'll see.
Tito?
Yeah, I think it's either going to be a sweep or one of those road team pretends they're putting up a fight and barely takes game 3 and we win it in 5. So too close to call, but hey, either 4 or 5 games would be a nice clear victory and hopefully let us rest up if Orlando can, beat up Boston even a notch. So that's where I'm at.
Aaron, how you feeling about the series so far?
I'm thinking tonight it's going to be a little bit closer. We'll probably win by like 6-8. The only way I think Miami will win a game would be Game 3, and it would have to involve a really cold shooting night, which the Cavs have every blue moon. But, if we
We were talking a little bit before the show, before you even got here, Hunter. I said the Cavs just have a way better roster than Miami. They just, on both sides of the bench is better. Our superstars are better. They don't have a Garland. They just aren't prepared for us. I think, and I still can't tell how good we are until we got to get Boston in a 7-game series is what we need to see how really good we are. You know what I'm saying?
This team's just so stacked, or one of our star players can have an off night, and either Ty Jerome and Garland can pick it up and put 20 down, or out of us, Boston and OKC, those are the teams where, like, one of our, like I said, star players can have an off night and they can still carry us through, and that's huge in the playoffs.
No, I agree.
So-
and like the last game, Ty Jerome was insane.
Yeah,
like
his
it was
first playoff
insane.
game.
16 points in the fourth quarter, I believe.
Yeah, yep.
It was crazy.
First playoff game.
He couldn't miss.
Killed him.
Couldn't
But,
miss.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't. If Tyler Hero's not putting up over 25 and Bam's not getting 10 boards, they're cooked. I mean, they got a
Basically.
good team, but they don't have the depth like we do.
No, I agree. And another thing, if like we do sweep, they're going to get another rest in there, which is going
That's what I
to
mean,
be
yeah.
be good because Donovan Mitchell. That's kind of scared me in that game when he went down.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. Same thing with what happened with Boston with Tatum when
yeah.
I thought he broke his wrist
Well,
or something.
he is out tonight.
Oh, is he not
Yeah,
playing?
He's not
Yeah,
playing. I mean, I think Celtics are still going to win, 10 plus, but
Yeah,
he is out tonight, though.
Yeah, the spread was 10 even with them out. They were tied when I last looked, but it's still early.
So Jaylen Brown's the main man tonight for Boston, and everyone says he can't go left. So just don't let Brown go right and steal one, Magic.
Yeah, but even
It
with
sounds easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the one that's got to go out there and stop
Right.
him, but it sounds easy.
Porzingis is the X factor. Even if we face Boston, Porzingis. I wish somehow he was not on Boston. I know that's not possible.
they got him
Yeah.
for
But I
nothing
mean, he
too.
just
Right, yeah.
sucks against us.
And anything they get from him is a bonus because he's not even really a part of their plans. But, yeah, he's pesky and, yeah.
Oh,
All right,
No.
nice show. See you
did
all
not
later.
mean to do that. Nice
Yeah,
show,
no,
guys.
Groundhog Day was 2 months ago.
Hit the wrong button.
That's what I'm hoping the Cavs unlock with Mobley. I mean, how Celtics use Porzingis. Like, really, that was the reason why they won the title last year is Porzingis. When he puts up 25 and then you got the rest of the guys putting up their normal numbers, you ain't stopping that team, especially with him in the middle like that. I mean, it's insane. So, I mean, even with White and Pritchard, they both put up 42, I think, in one game.
And you know what's a
each.
kick in the nuts? Al Horford hitting a 3-ball in the corner. That's just
Yeah.
a kick in the nuts. That
Al-
son of a
We
bitch.
both hate him.
won't
That's the
retire.
thing. Is like Al Horford though is like the Cavs killer, man. He frustrates our big guys just because he does. Every time we play against
He's
him.
been a pain in this sports scene's butt since
Yes.
they were beating us in the title game almost
Ah.
20 years ago.
He was nothing. He was
Right.
nothing until after LeBron tormented him when he was
Yeah.
with Atlanta. So now he's getting his payback right now.
He was
When
also
played.
young then though too.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta had a stacked team back then
Right,
too,
and
but
then they always
LeBron-
ran right into
yeah.
our buzzsaw,
Yep.
the cannon fodder.
But yeah, right now in the NBA playoffs, Boston leads the Magic 1-0. Warriors lead the Rockets 1-0. Pacers leads the Bucks 2-0. Denver is tied with the Clippers 1-1. Knicks are tied with the Pistons 1-1. Timberwolves are tied with the Lakers 1-1. And then the Grizzlies lead the Thunder 2-0. Are there any other?
Thunder lead the Grizzlies 2-0.
Or I'm sorry, Thunder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
Thunder
whooped
lead
them
the
last
Grizzlies
night.
2-0.
I want to see the rest of that Pistons Knicks, just because I know they're not the bad boy Pistons that we all. Well, I was too young for that, or even the 04-07 Pistons. Like growing up, that was the dominant team. But just like they're like the semi bad boy Pistons.
funny.
now. I just want to see.
I
that
loved
series.
Ben Wallace growing up. I just loved him
Ugh.
for whatever reason. I thought he was just a badass.
Now,
Yeah,
like,
that title they won, LeBron was only in like his second year, so it's not like I was like rooting for the Pistons, but I
Yeah.
didn't consider it a conflict of
Yeah.
interest.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
hey, they're a good defensive team. LeBron's 3 years away from taking us anywhere. But while we're on the Pistons, like, what do you guys think? Does it help us if the Pistons upset the Knicks? Is it just like skunk the 3 seed at all costs, the Knicks, or is it like that helps Boston before it helps us because it's that side of the bracket? I wanted to bring that up while we glossed on this series. I don't know if anyone has thoughts. I literally can't decide. That's why I'm actually asking you guys.
I'm sorry. On ESPN, it said a Browns key departure was running back Nick Chubb. He's not a departure.
yeah, not yet. I don't know what.
Well,
they're
he's
gonna
not.
do.
He's not on our roster right now.
Yeah, he's a free agent right now, but I don't know.
No, well, still, he's not a departure, though. I mean, I understand that, but like, it's like they're already just waving him off goodbye.
Well, I think he'll get re-signed. But yeah, like what Tito was saying with the Detroit, I don't know either because I don't know
it's
who
a
I
tough
want.
one.
Yeah, I don't know who I want to play. Rather, I don't know.
I mean,
Well,
the old
we've
school.
destroyed the Knicks all season.
That's
the only
true,
thing.
too.
We
Right,
have handled
so-
them clearly. Detroit's
But-
giving us hell.
The Pistons gave the Celtics a run for their money during the regular season every time they played them. I mean, even with New York game was close, but I don't know what's going on. Like Karl Anthony Towns the other night when they lost, he had 0 touches in the fourth quarter. That is your number. The offense is either running through Brunson or Towns.
Yeah.
And he had 0. He
Yeah,
was literally
that's
just doing cardio up and down the whole court the second half. But the last quarter they were talking about the other night, like there is no reason why he should have not even one shot attempt.
That is
and he's your
bizarre.
main guy. Like, I think it's so weird because if the Knicks are on it, I'd rather watch them face Boston and give them a 7 games of hell or try to stretch it out as long as they can. I don't see no one beating Boston until us.
But the Knicks on all cylinders versus the Pistons on all cylinders, in theory, should scare Boston more.
I'd rather see the Pistons play Boston because they're more hungry, I think, this year. And I feel like they got more depth than New York does. The only difference is they have Brunson, but Cunningham's been killing it. As long as Cunningham's putting up 25, 30, and 8 assists, they're going to be in the game.
The problem is J.D. Bickerstaff going to pull a Cavs and, I mean, like the coaching experience.
Yeah, right.
That's the only issue.
Because we all know that the age-old tale on Bickerstaff, like, develop some players, like, get a scrappy young team to the playoffs, but not necessarily the guy you want to hang your hat on. Like, we have the coaching advantage in a playoff series. That's not his thing. So
because even if they have Tobias Harris, they have Duran and Beasley. As long as he manages those 3 and they're putting up at least 10, they're in the game. Because it's Cunningham. He's honestly, I have him almost. I mean, he's not going to win MVP, but he's going to be a top 5 player next year if he's not already. Like, it's the Pistons. People don't really watch them obviously because they've been god awful for years.
Their last playoff one was 2008.
Yeah, they've been awful forever. But watching their game,
we're not talking football. We're talking basketball. Where like you get credit for a playoff win if you lose 4-1.
I seriously,
and they haven't won one since 2008.
I seriously think they'll be a 3 or 4 seed next year. Like I think they're better than Indiana personally.
Yeah,
they just don't have that experience. If they had been playing them, that game would have been a 7-game series instead of what they're doing with Milwaukee right now. But
before we move off the NBA, I'm like, I just have this weird thing that it's going to be Cavs, Lakers in the finals, and I'm like,
I hope so.
But I'm just saying, that would be just Cleveland luck that we would face LeBron, and then they made the trade for Luka, and then we ended up losing to LeBron and the Lakers. Like, could you imagine that? It would be just so Cleveland for something like that to happen.
We'd kill them. They have no depth
I bet we better hope.
We got to get past the stigma because we match up nice with them. I hear what you're saying with like just the vibe.
I'm just
and the
like the stress
storyline.
vibe going into it.
With the Twin Towers in a league that's gone small in general, like Mobley and Allen, like we've got a 2-step of bigs, like that's hard to match, and the Lakers don't even really have a reputable big.
They're struggling against Minnesota right now, and they don't. I mean, they got some nice key pieces, like they got Reed off the bench and Alexander, but like they're struggling with them right now. We absolutely obliterated them on New Year's Eve when we played. I mean, that was before the Luka trade, obviously, but just the depth itself. As soon as like the bench guys came in with like 4 minutes left in the first, that's when they started getting
right.
Killed.
It just scares me though. Like you're going up to arguably the 2 best players in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
and in the playoffs, the rotation shortened.
Yeah, it's different.
That's a thing. But.
All right, we're going to move into the NFL draft, but we will keep you updated on the Cavs game 2 that has just started. All right, let's get into the NFL draft. Tomorrow night is the NFL draft that us Browns fans have been looking forward to. It's been a very interesting offseason with the Myles Garrett drama, but we have made it, and the Cleveland Browns have the 2nd pick in this year's draft. Before we get into the first 10 picks, because we're just going to go through the first 10 picks, I want to talk about the quarterbacks that are coming out of this draft. And me and Tito, we did our show a while back on something. And we said that the quarterbacks just aren't very good coming into this draft.
Yeah, how you might have to sort of talk yourself into
them.
So
I want to – the quarterbacks that are coming out are Cam Ward out of Miami, Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado, Jalen Milroe out of Alabama, Will Howard, Ohio State, Riley Leonard, Jackson Dart, Tyler Show, Dylan Gabriel, Quentin Ewers, Kyle McCord. Who do you guys – is your favorite quarterback coming out? And, like, talk about – who you would want the Browns to draft?
Well, I've been dying to tell a Dylan Gabriel is old joke. So not the 37-year-old Dylan Gabriel. He's definitely not my guy. And yeah, dude, I like Jackson Dart. I'm not the biggest college football pundit, but like when the college football season started last year, and I know it was against sort of a sketchy opponent, but Dart had like 25 completions in a row or something stupid, and that really put him on my radar because to the casual fan, you always see a lot of SEC games anyway. And then, so yeah, man, I really like Dart. I kind of feel like, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, we're not on the Browns pick yet, but I kind of feel like, without getting too far ahead of ourselves, the Browns aren't going quarterback at 2. So, yeah, man, I'd love Dart at 33 as far as speculating on Browns quarterbacks. There's no one I'm really scared of. Like, don't draft that dude whatsoever. But I definitely would say, assuming we address that issue at pick 33, I'd like Dart there.
I like Dart too, but I don't think he's going to be there at 33. I think the Browns, if they're going to want him, they're going to have to move into the late 20s if they're going to want to move up to get him. But,
yeah.
I mean,
I have him as like, not to interrupt you, but I have him as like a glorified coin flip at 33.
Yeah,
like maybe someone moves up at the end of the 30s and maybe he's there.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's more likely than not, or do you think it's about a coin flip in your mind?
With Steelers and I think what I'd like them to do is get him if they trade up before the Steelers take him, just for the hell of it. But they have us taking Milrow at 33, and I'm not a big fan of him at all. Like, I mean, if he works out, he works out, but it seems like all these Bama quarterbacks never seem to work out.
The one thing about Jordan Milrow that everybody's talking about is that they say he's faster than Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, like, coming out Lamar, I didn't want to draft Lamar when they came out. Like, no one knew exactly how good he was going to be, and he's got by off his talent.
Yeah.
Really, that's why he got put in over Joe Flacco when they benched Flacco, because he just had raw fucking talent.
Yeah.
And he's so fast. So, but I don't know.
I mean,
I'm just like.
I like Will Howard, but obviously they're not going to take him that early. But I'd like Dart, but I don't think he's going to be there. And obviously we're not taking a quarterback at 2.
No.
I don't see.
And if we do, it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. Like, we're not going to take anyone else that high.
Mm-hmm. Like Dart, I guess, because of the way our positioning is in the draft, but I still don't think somebody in the 20s, there's going to be 2 quarterbacks at least in the first round. Or 3, my bad, with Ward, Sanders, and Dart.
Right.
That's
right, and most people say Dart's the third dude.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If 3 quarterbacks fly off the board, then we have to assume that, yes, Dart is not on the table at 33.
Yep.
Now, which quarterback do you think will have the best career out of those quarterbacks? It's interesting because it is based off of where you get drafted, right situation, what happens, does your coach get fired? So,
yeah, it's hard to say because if, say, Dart ends up in Pittsburgh, I mean, they're there every year. I mean, it's going to take some time, obviously. Like, they're never going to have another Big Ben, but.
Yeah. No, and I hate to say this. I think, I have his name right, Will Howard might have the best NFL career out of all of them.
The way his draft stock is, he might end up on a good team. And
yeah,
he
that's
might
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, honestly, if he's there, I'm telling you, Browns draft him. Wait for him.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pick him high.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be there maybe second round, maybe third round, possibly.
Yeah.
With how early we are in the third round, I think it's safe to be pretty wishful he's there in the third. In our slot of the third.
I just don't. I mean, I'd like them to take him, but I don't. I think they go offense the first 2 rounds. Then they're obviously going to probably draft something defense, 3rd or 4th. It just depends how. I just don't see them taking 3 offensive guys. I mean, I hope they do. I mean, I'd like Will Howard. He's my pick, but
I'll be honest. I've started really liking him. I've been watching the stuff with him out with John Gruden, and I'm like, this guy's kind of smart.
Yeah, he won a
should
title.
I get you one of these shirts?
Nah, yeah.
Bucks on Saturday, dogs on
you could
Sunday?
suck my balls.
Probably not.
How about that, sir?
But like Tennessee with Ward, I mean, obviously first pick in the draft. I mean, try and turn it around.
Could you imagine if Tennessee doesn't draft Cam Ward? Let's actually get in the first 10 picks. So Tennessee is drafted number 1. Like I said, we all know that it's probably Cam Ward.
I'll go
it's
first
probably
with
100%.
Tennessee. Like, it will be Cam Ward. Like, I'm not making the pick. I love Abdul Carter at number 1, especially for Tennessee. The best quarterback in that division, if they strategize like that, sizing up the competition, is C.J. Stroud, who I like. He's streaky, and obviously I'm favorable to the Buckeyes, but, when the best quarterback in your division, C.J. Stroud, you don't have the pressure of drafting a quarterback than you do if you've got a division stacked with, a Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and stuff, say, in the AL West. So, sorry, stuck on baseball. The AFC West, not the AL West.
I was like, wait, AL West.
But, so it won't happen. I'm not the one making the pick. I'm saying I personally would – if I'm Tennessee, I'd love Carter at 1, but it's gonna be Ward.
Yeah,
my heart says take Carter, but my brain says whatever.
Right.
They're over Will Levis. That dude is terrible.
Yeah, you got to be over Will Levis. Yeah, the mayonnaise guy.
What was that, mayonnaise in his coffee?
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Mayonnaise in his coffee, underhanded interceptions. I
Hey,
mean,
God
I don't
bless
care
his
how
heart.
quirky you like your quarterbacks. That's not attractive.
I
you
mean,
know?
God bless his heart.
Underhanded interceptions, mayonnaise commercials.
Yeah,
like,
God bless
that's
him
not
because
cool.
he signed an awesome deal with like Duke's mayonnaise or something with that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
as a deal. I'm like, fuck,
He
what
seems
the
to be
hell?
doing the most. His like talent to endorsement ratio, like the guy's got good representation. Yeah, you got to take that away from him. But then, like when you put him under center, he's not producing good results.
Right.
Callahan's coaching for his job. I mean, he still has another 2 or 3 years on the hot before it gets bad. But he's done with Levis. He needs a quarterback. They said that they were going to stay at number 1. So there's no way in hell unless I get absolutely blown away by.
And
Yeah, especially if we're
yeah.
to believe the gossip that allegedly they got a few competitive offers. Like, if you got a few competitive offers and you supposedly were an open book and fielding these set offers, like, why wouldn't it be Ward if you turned down a few solid offers? You know, it just seems like it's trending that way.
Yep.
Right.
If you were willing to listen and you're not bullshitting people, you would have taken one of the said 3 to 4 decent offers you allegedly got if you weren't going Cam Ward. So
I thought you were raising your hand to talk. I'm like,
No,
you can talk,
well,
Eric.
well, a small football announcement, too, prior to the draft. They announced the Hall of Fame game, July 31st. It's going to be Georgia's New York Giants. No, I'm just kidding. The Giants and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, okay.
That is the Hall of Fame game.
Interesting.
Ugh.
Sort of.
Yeah,
I don't.
woof.
I don't really know why in particular.
Chargers by 50.
Yeah, no, Giants by 10, just because I never pass on a
it's
jab at Harbaugh. So,
it's
yeah,
a
Giants by 10. Giants by 10.
Hey,
Bucks on Saturday,
Chargers
Giants
are,
by 10.
Chargers like a draft away from being really good.
They're about there. I called it in our when we had our NFL preview show.
Tito did not. He took another shot in the preview show last
Oh, yeah.
year.
I
He
said
goes,
they'd win 4
they're going to
games."
win 4 games again.
And then they won 4 games before Columbus Day.
I
And boy, was
believe-
my face red.
I
but
believed
hey.
in the Chargers against Houston, and man, was that a letdown.
yeah,
In that playoff game, that was
yeah,
a letdown.
it was bad.
That was bad.
I mean, they did a lot. They cut all their good players, like cap wise, going into that year. So like they had like nobody. Like the only offensive guy that they had throwing to was that lad McConkey guy that they drafted.
Yeah.
And that dude was getting freaking 14, 15 catches a game because there was literally nobody else to throw to.
Right.
Yeah,
And
they
they're-
couldn't really
yeah.
spread it around.
And then
Conky's pretty good though.
Yeah.
White
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
He's pretty good.
They
It's
get
tough to be a one-man band
they
catching
get-
passes these days, and he more or less.
then when Dobbins
Even on
got
a
hurt-
run-heavy team, it's tough to be a one-man band.
Yeah, because then
catching
J.K. got hurt again. And then, like, they sort of stalled out, but Herbert was taking all the freaking flack. So
Yeah.
you got no freaking offensive line, but they still made it. I mean, they should do good again this year, but I don't know. I hope they beat the Chiefs.
I'm just
Fuck
glad
'em.
we don't face that freaking AFC West division
Yeah.
this year. God.
Right.
It's torture.
I mean, we got a tough schedule. We face the NFC North, but God, just no.
Ours is stacked, too, but I don't
So all in agreement, though, the Browns probably take Cam Ward at 1.
Titans.
Or Titans, I'm sorry. What did I say?
I wish we'd take. I wish we'd
Browns.
take. 'em.
Oh,
I don't want no Cam Ward here.
I'm sorry. The
I wish-
Titans take
No.
Cam Ward all in agreement.
I wish we'd have
Yeah,
sucked 'em
I
up.
have the Titans taking.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into the Cleveland Browns. Our Cleveland Browns are on the clock with the second round overall pick tomorrow night. The pick has been, flip-flopping around who we're going to take. It started with we're taking Shedeur Sanders no matter what. Then we bring in Joe Flacco. Now it's a Hunter no matter what. Then I think last night they were saying we're fielding calls for a possible trade, possible Abdul Carter, get a pass rusher with Myles Garrett on the other side. So what do you guys think the Browns will do at 2?
If they don't get a huge offer, I'd see them taking Hunter. Don't overcomplicate it. We need another wide receiver. I mean, if he wants to play corner too, put him on there too. Might as well try. This team's a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, take the best player available at number 2. Like I said, unless they get blown away by freaking the Saints or the Bears. I know the Bears are talking about they want to move up, and that was a report early this morning. And some of these teams want to drop back, maybe. But you take Hunter at 2. There's no way, unless, like I said, it's one of these top 10 teams that we swap and we stay in the top 10, and then maybe we get like a second-round pick or something next year, or another first or something for next year.
Right.
Maybe take it, but take Hunter at 2.
I still like Abdul Carter at 2. I would love to get a nice trade package. I just think, like, overall dynamics, we're not going to get offered the best trade. I mean, we'll listen and stuff and have an open mind. I love gossiping about trades, but I don't really see it with the Browns at 2. So I'm just going to be somewhat certain we're keeping the pick. And, yeah, it's annoying and unconventional to tie up 30% of your payroll on edge rushers. I don't even know the guy's name. We just signed another, like, $8.5 million a year guy to be, like, a rotation edge rusher. But, man, I like Carter, dude. He's a monster. I like Carter. I was 98% on Carter, and then we signed that other guy for depth, and that dropped me down to, like, 88% on Carter, but I still like Carter, man.
One thing
like,
with
that's
Carter,
some tantalizing bookends with Garrett. Like,
yeah, the one thing with Carter that I've talked to one of our other buddies, I forget who I was talking to, and I said I don't want to take Carter because he's been injured like his whole career at Penn State.
Yeah.
He had the foot issues, and I'm just like, and they're lingering.
I didn't really dive into his injuries.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that stuff I knew he had been hurt. I
foot
didn't know
and
if it was
ankle
stuff you
thing's
could
been
write off
lingering
as
a
a
long
fluke.
time.
But yeah, if it's the same body parts,
Yeah.
then yeah, it could be something that would linger, and that's not cool.
Something
but,
quick. If there was a team that I wanted them to trade back for, it'd be the Jaguars. They were talking. Jags were interested in Hunter. You drop back to 5. You stay at 5.
Yeah.
And then you get whatever the heck you. I mean, I imagine it'd be either a first-round pick or a second-round pick next year. Try to recruit something out of it, but then you're still in the money for. I don't think Carter's gonna. There's no way Carter's gonna be there at 5. But hey, you never know. Genty could be there at 5. Freaking tackle. I mean, they're still. If they get a good offer from Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's Jacksonville,
Patriots.
so you never know what you're gonna. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get with that. But that's I'd rather them take Hunter at 2.
Aaron, who's the Browns taking it to?
I mean, it's a generational talent. I mean, I know, in the NFL, the play clock's shorter. I mean, Hunter, he'll learn if he can play both. You know what I mean? It's not going to take him long to learn if he's going to get exhausted playing on both sides of the ball. But if he puts his mind to it, he might be able to play both sides. But you have to take Hunter. And, like, it's just the injuries for Carter, like exactly like you said. Otherwise than that, if he had no injuries, I'd say take him and then get Milroe or the Ohio State quarterback. You know what I mean?
Howard,
there'd be no ifs, ands, or buts. But it is those injuries. Those injuries, they're going to linger, especially when you're facing big tackles that are better than freshmen in college that are going to shove you to the ground. And, like the NFL is so fast-paced that those injuries are – all it takes is just for his ankle to get rolled up on, and there we go. He's out for 8 weeks. You know what I mean? It's just you got to take Hunter.
It's like I can't think of the other cornerback that we had. He had like not Newsome, not Ward. Who was the other guy that he was like balling out for us? Emerson, yeah, that's
Emerson.
it. And then all of a sudden he fell off a cliff last year. And then you got Ward that can't get out of concussion. He should honestly about retire. I think if he gets one more concussion away,
His head's gonna fucking explode.
He's away from retiring. And Newsome, so they were already talking about trading him, and he was a waste of a first-round pick. But you get Hunter. I mean, they're going to give him the leeway at first. Let him, all right, you want to play both positions, see how you do after a couple. It's a long season.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah. It's a long season. It's different than college.
Yeah, so
it's way different.
Mm-hmm. I'd just say you take him at 2, and if he can play both sides, that works out good for us and more depth. But
now you know what thing I did here since I've been looking at like the two-way player is so they have a longer play clock in college, but the breaks in between series in the NFL are way longer because the commercial breaks are longer.
Okay, so you're saying that could play in Hunter's favor. Because, if you're gassed on both ends, you got a few extra minutes.
There was a study they did. It was the longest game that the NFL played compared to the longest game in college. And they compared all the commercial breaks and stop time, and it was like the college had just like 6 minutes more or something. So it wasn't that bad of a difference.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting.
Even if they rotate his minutes for like towards the end of the games when it's like coming down to the nitty gritty and stuff, and like you need him out there for defensive purposes or whatever. You try to save him you start him at the beginning, then let him do his thing during the game on offense, and then stick him back out there at the end if it's close. He's a playmaker. So you never know. He might be able to snag one pick six, whatever, heck, when they're trying to get in the end zone or something. I mean, you'd just be so stupid not to take him at 2.
And especially the Browns' offense was so bad last year. Arguably, I think they were 29th. It might have been worse than that. Yeah. We need to score points again.
Yeah.
And I think Flacco, now he has Jerry Jeudy. You have another.
It's another, yeah.
You have another weepon in Hunter. You still have Njoku. Like, we're not that far off.
No,
if our offensive line could protect.
Yeah. And, like, Judy's going to get all the attention. They're going to double. I mean, they're not going to double him now if Hunter comes here, but he gets all the attention because Njoku's a tight end, so they're not going to – they might chip at him at first, but he's normally one-on-one for the most part. Judy's the main guy where they're throwing 10, 12 times a game, and they're doubling him up. And then who's the other guys that they have to throw to? They don't throw to Elijah Moore hardly ever.
Right.
So it's like you put him on that
really,
other side. That's going to open it up.
Really, Elijah Moore balled out when Flacco was here.
Yeah, and, like, 'cause he was on the Jets with them back then, so, like, they already had chemistry.
Yeah.
But it'll open up the offense so much more getting Hunter with, like I said, Judy on the other side. It'll make Flacco's job a lot easier. We can score some freaking points.
All right,
I heard Gresco's bringing back his wide receiver talents that he had back in the day for backyard football for the Browns.
I ain't running. The only time I run is to the toilet.
All right.
Really quick, the Browns are going to eventually draft a quarterback. Who do you think fits 100% with the Browns?
I like Howard. I don't think it's going to be that, but Howard.
I have to disagree with Racer. I don't know. I was iffy about Milrow, but I'm on the Milrow bandwagon. I just am. I don't know. I know Alabama quarterbacks, yada, yada. But Bryce Young's getting better, but Bryce Young's short. It's going to take him time. I don't think he's going to be great, but he's getting better. He's going to be better. I think Milrow I think he'll fit in here.
For the position that they are in the second round, it's probably going to be
Milrow.
I've said it on our show before. I would never draft a certain type of quarterback, and I'll say it again. I would not draft him. I want in our division, the tall, strong quarterback is always outside of Lamar Jackson is the one. And you saw the Lamar Jackson in the playoffs last year. We did when it gets a little cold outside.
I understand, but that's Lamar.
You need a tall, strong quarterback that can zip the ball through the air in our division. You need it. You have to.
The Browns need to be able to run the ball, too, for anything to be successful.
Any team needs to be able to run the ball.
I know, but especially the damn Browns. All right.
I'm starting to get on this Will Howard bandwagon. I really am. And I hate to say it.
Clip it.
Can't even beat Michigan. How is he going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers? But I do want Will Howard.
And you got Joe Flacco to learn from and just take a red shirt year or whatever.
And they're the same type of quarterback. Size.
Yeah, and
Flacco probably has a stronger arm.
And the way we have our quarterback room, this is literally setting up on a tee to have Howard start next year if everything goes okay. But I don't. Honestly, they might end up taking two quarterbacks if Howard's there in like the 4th or 5th round. I mean, if it fits, I mean, he's going to fall. It's just a matter of who takes him. I don't know.
All right, let's get into the New York Giants. They pick at number 3. They are in need of quite a bit. They need a quarterback, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, wide receiver. I don't know what they're going to do here. Thoughts on this one? So we have as of right now, we have Ward going to the Titans, Hunter. So I'm guessing they go
to Carter,
Abdul Carter, or do they go with a big pick with Shedeur Sanders?
Well, I'll go first just because since I'm already hamstrung with Carter to the Browns, and a lot of people think Carter's going to the Giants, I'll get a little weird. It'll be one of the tackles for the Giants, obviously. And I'm going to go Armin Membaugh just because I can't go Carter if I have him going too. So give me Membaugh from Missouri to the Giants.
Okay. So that means he gets drafted a little higher than he's projected.
That's an aggressive pick. Obviously, he's projected in somewhere between 6 to 9 in most things.
Okay.
But I think that they take Membaugh.
I got the Saints trading up. I got them trading up from 9 to 3. I think the Giants are going to blackmail the Saints about taking Sanders, and they're going to bait them in the freaking.
They're going to bait them into
taking them, and they're going to end up trading up and taking Sanders, and then obviously they stay in the top 10. I mean, they already have Thibodeau, I think is his last name, on the one side of the ball for the Giants, the defensive end, but it's just sort of like how we are with like at number 2, take the best player available. If they don't trade it back, they're taking Carter. There's no reason why they shouldn't take Carter. Unless they want to take Sanders, but I don't. They were hyping about it before, but I don't see them taking him. Now Wilson signed there. I know it's a 1-year deal, but I don't.
I mean, it would be huge because basically that division. I mean, that whole division can score points if the Cowboys can go back to what we've seen, But it would be nice for the Giants to have an edge rusher.
Yeah.
To be able to get on Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels now. I mean, and then Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? We all look at Dak now as one of the lower tier quarterbacks of the NFC
Snag
North
this real
down,
quick.
but
Yeah, go ahead.
in general,
I'm good for a sec.
it would probably be Carter just sitting there, or. But do they want Sanders in New York? You know what I mean? The big name, the big time city. You know what I mean?
Oh, all the smoke. There's
That's
already
what
a big
I'm
hype
saying.
train. Why
That's what I'm
not?
saying.
Why not?
I think it'll be Sanders to the Giants.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll be honest. I'm going to stay on the same train. I think it's going to be added to Carter to the Giants. I don't think the Giants will trade back. I think Carter's such an impact player immediately that I don't think they'll trade away from that.
That's just my hot. Like I have the Carter going 3, but unless the Saints get duped into thinking the Giants are taking him, because there's going to be a trade in this top. I just don't. The Raiders aren't desperate for him. I mean, if it falls to them, they might end up. But I don't see them wasting their pick at 6. But we'll get there.
Make sure you guys write down where your picks are.
Oh, for sure.
So I just want to,
keep track.
because I'll post a thing after the show of each of our picks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to the Patriots at number 4, which is so funny because I completely skipped over the Patriots in my actual notes. So, who do you guys got with the Patriots at 4?
This is where Abdul Carter goes.
That's where you think he's going to go?
Yeah, this is where he's going to land.
Okay.
It's a good hot. Yeah. I mean, if some team
he-
trades up to get a quarter.
Well,
yeah.
you know what I've been hearing with the Patriots is I heard they want T.J. Watt from Pittsburgh Steelers. I heard they're trying to make a trade for him.
So they can't get an agreement with him or something.
Yeah, they can't get. Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers can't make it a proper money agreement or whatever. So I heard that he's possibly going to get traded before the season. I've heard that this week.
He'd be a Mike Vrabel guy.
That's what I said. It's like perfect.
I can see that. I hate to keep following this list, but I'm taking Will Campbell. They need help on the line. They were just so, especially protecting your quarterback. He got absolutely murdered last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get knocked up each game, but like they're facing the Chargers when they were playing in Germany, I think, or whatever the heck it was, and he was getting obliterated.
Yeah.
Second play of the game, he went out with a concussion. He won the concussion twice in that game, and they just. The way they are, if Carter falls into their lap at 4, that's a home run for them. But I see them taking Campbell at 4. They need to keep their heavily invested quarterback safe.
That's what I was going to say. The Patriots are good with the quarterback with Drake May now. He's their guy. God, I think you're right. I think the Patriots need an offensive line because they have their quarterback now. They protect the line. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm sticking with where'd that pen go? I'm going to stick with Campbell, offensive tackle at 4.
In my universe, Travis Hunter's still on the board at 4. And with wanting to protect May, as you said, get your weapons from your nice young quarterback. I don't think Hunter's fallen to the Jaguars. The Jaguars are turning that pick in 20 seconds, even when the game is to slow play it. So,
right.
Yeah, the Patriots break the Jaguars' heart right when they start dreaming of getting Travis Hunter day before. And also, really quick, slightly pivoting off topic, just came over the wire. Steve McMichael passed away, one of the more unsung guys from the 85 Bears. He was a hell of an interior lineman. Shout out to Steve McMichael. Fly high. And we're onward to pick 5.
I was say you should have waited to do the Bears pick at 10.
I know, but I was worried. I
He
forgot.
got too excited.
If they would have been 6 or 7, I would have.
Yeah.
But I'm like, 6 picks later. Geez, the whole universe could change. So, yeah.
All right, so
Here we are at
I
the
had
Jag.
Campbell at 4. You had Campbell, Hunter. Tito, you said
Travis Hunter.
Travis
'cause I still
Hunter
had him
drops
out
to
there in
4.
the wind, yeah.
Aaron, you had who? Carter going to 4, dropping. Wow. Okay. All right, let's get into the Jaguars. They pick at number 5.
They're the white whale of this draft. No one's talking about
Listen,
that. 5's a big pick.
I think this is 100% Genty going to the Jaguars. And here's why. He reminds me of, I think I wrote it down here. Maybe I didn't.
Well, while you're looking at that, how much better is Will Campbell compared to Armand Membo? Is there a huge difference?
Not really. When it comes to linemen, 4 to 7, that's apples and oranges. Now quarterbacks 4 to 7, they'll hold that. Yeah, they'll hold that against him all day. Like he's 3 ranks higher. But I feel like when it comes to linemen, 4 to 7, it's just tendencies. Maybe one of them run blocks better, one of them pass
zone
blocks
scheme,
better.
outside.
Yeah, it just comes down to fickle details. I think to me.
And one of them always ends up getting turned. Like they'll be a right tackle in college, and they need somebody, and they'll draft him, and then they'll switch his spot. They'll switch him to left tackle or guard or something. The ones that do that never end up working out.
I was just about to say, there's also those
right,
ones
yeah,
in
that's
college.
an underratedly hard transition.
Another
right.
big one is if, like, linemen can snap. Like, if you're getting drafted as a guard, can you also snap? Because that's huge, which doesn't happen very often. Or you played both sides of the line. Because I know there was one guy in last year's draft, he said he can only play left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, all right, well, if I have a guy that can play both, then I'll draft him.
Yep.
But, yeah, I think Genty's going to the Jaguars at 5. It reminds me of, like, Maurice Jones-Drew back in the day, even though he played for the Jaguars. Yeah. So I'm like, they need to get back to that style of running the football. I think it's a home run hit for them.
I can see, like you were talking about, I could see the Bears trading up with the Jaguars because the Jaguars just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be another shit. It's going to be another shit year. I think they're going to trade up to get Will Campbell or Armand Maybell, but I think they're going to go with Campbell just because Bears need offensive line help. I mean, that they're not a bad fucking team. Yeah, they're not the best, and they had that end of the year where they do waving to the crowd and they lost all those games, but I think they got to get some protection there. I don't think they want these 2 picks to wait. You know what I mean? You don't know what the Jets are probably taking offensive linemen, and who knows what the Panthers and Saints might do. So you're taking a risk. I think they're going to want one of these guys. So I think this is where the moment that they trade up.
That's literally they were talking about the Bears wanting to trade up. I don't see Jaguar. I don't see them taking Genty. I know there's a time where you take the best player available that's there, but they already have Bigsby. They already have Etienne.
Mm-hmm.
If they stay at 5, they're taking Memba from the tackle from Missouri, just because you need more offensive linemen than anything in this league.
Yep.
And if they stay, I have him going there, so I'll note that down. But like you said, the Bears need a run. I mean, they have Swift, but he ain't nothing. I mean, he's all right. He's already peaked. He got his money going there, but Genty's obviously would take a load off of Williams. And they just traded for Joe Thuney, who he was with the Chiefs.
I mean, they went all in on Williams.
Yeah.
You got to protect him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just painted fingernails and all, you got to protect him.
And Tito, I know you wanted to talk about Genty a little bit about possibly being that generational, that sleeper.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of respected pundits who are like sticking their necks out there, like when they really don't have to, being like, "Yeah, he's better than Barkley." Like not even like he could be a Barkley. They're like, "Dude, he's better than Barkley. If he stays on track, he's better than Barkley." And to me, that's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, yeah, Barkley obviously is a monster. So, yeah, like, man, Genty is a real X factor of this draft, and I feel like last year with Mixon, Jacobs, and Barkley all vastly improving their teams and validating in them some their 3-agent contracts, the running back is back. Before I forget with the Jaguars, I have the baby run of wideouts continuing. I have them taking I hate watching film Tetra McMillan from Arizona 5. So that's who I have the Jaguars taking at 5. But, yeah, man, going back to Genty, like, people that don't really need to have a hot take and stick their neck out there, that are sticking their neck out there, like, this dude is better than Barkley. Not even the same. Like, that's lofty praise, dude. Like, I'm a big Barkley guy. Like, he just won a Super Bowl. Like, we can obviously agree his first year was a success with the Eagles. So, like, for these respected pundits to just, like, not even really hesitate or blink and just be like better than Barkley, not even I hope he is Barkley, like, man, that's alarming. That's a lot. Like, there's a lot of hype behind this guy. Like, I feel like to a degree, I don't have a lot of knowledge with like Boise State's philosophy and thinking, but it's fair to assume he was somewhat misused at Boise State. Remember them throwing stupid deep balls against Penn State in that playoff game?
Yeah.
So what if we've only basically scratched the surface on Genty, and Boise State wasn't even like using him like they should? Like, in that case, if he can even be even better than the hype, then yeah, you've really got yourself a like an Eric Dickerson in his prime, or just something incredible like that. And
I heard
out
of his straws like.
That thing's screaming.
And obviously with the volatile worlds of running back draft stocks, that's where I get a sleeping giant, because like he probably won't fall to 9 or 10 or 11, but man, if he does, what a value there. If he just
agree.
takes the league by storm and he's like the 1985 Eric Dickerson, and someone
I think
gets him at
anybody will
10 or
take
11,
that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, anyone will take that at 2 or 3, much less if you get it at 10 or 11. So,
And this, into the next pick, I'll just say, and this is why he's
Who are we
gonna
talking
be
about?
the Raiders.
the Raiders.
Genty with the Raiders.
Genty's to
Oh,
the
you think he's
Raiders.
going to go to the Raiders?
That's where I got him
fucking-
going.
yeah, just-
See, I'm
they're
opposite.
sitting there licking their chops. Like, oh,
He's going to fall right into their laps if,
Oh, yeah,
if
dude.
Jacksonville
Yeah,
does.
yeah, but you got to remember, Pete
Oh, I-
Carroll is now their head football coach. Pete Carroll's a
Pete
defensive
Carroll
mind.
is an old man, and he knows generational
They need-
running back talent.
They need
Bro,
a running
he's
back.
a
bad.
defensive guy. They're drafting Mason Graham at number 6.
Oh yeah, that'll save him.
Mason Graham is a fucking
get him
stud.
That'll get him out of 4th place in that division.
Dude, you know how Mason Graham wrecked Ohio State game this past year.
Okay, and
Go watch
and
it.
that's versus sophomores,
23
juniors.
point-
Good luck
23
against
point
offensive
favorites,
linemen
pal.
that are 340
And he
pounds,
destroyed
10
the game.
years experience.
Raiders need a running back so
I
bad.
know he did. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's
Right.
Wrecked,
you need a-
game wrecked.
That
you
they have
game wrecked.
they have Abdullah and they have somebody else. So they didn't do shit.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank
So,
on who
I-
they tried to replace Jacobs with, but
Yeah,
obviously it was
Abdul-
a fucking
yeah.
disaster
It
because
was-
they were missing
yeah.
Jacobs terribly.
Yeah,
and they didn't
It
do
was
anything
Abdullah and
at
somebody
all.
else.
Yeah.
I forget who.
They're
it was.
going to be like, fuck, we miss Jacobs. Well, here's this talent just sitting here.
Yeah. So I
Put him in the black hole, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
God,
weird at
Hunter.
4 and 5.
Hunter.
I'm back to swimming downstream. Genty, tailing the popular opinion with Genty.
To
is
the
my
Raiders?
move to the
Yep.
Raiders at 6, yep.
Well, we got New York now.
All right, let's go to the Jets.
Jets. Sorry, I love
Oh,
that.
you guys couldn't do it with us?
I love that.
Too
fucking
cool for
chant.
school over here?
I
I
hate
love
New York
that
teams.
shit.
All right, let's go.
Let's
go to the
principle
New
more
York.
than
Yeah.
school for school.
Let's go to the New York Jets here. Interesting pick because they fucked up a lot of shit, especially with all the drama with Aaron Rodgers this
Yeah.
past season.
If you had enough room on the sheet, you'd list
Yeah.
8 positions as their needs. You
yeah,
know, they're,
right.
they're pretty open.
Yeah,
book.
I only listed 5.
Yeah, they're just trying to restock the covers. So you pick their 5 biggest needs, but they've got needs.
I don't know what they do here.
They're going to get the other.
Who is the Jets quarterback right now?
Fields.
Justin
Oh,
Fields.
that's right. Justin
Yeah.
Fields went there. That's
Protect
okay.
him.
That's right. So, you have
the
a
other-
quarterback.
the
And
other-
presumably it's not a competition. I feel like even in 2025, $20 million isn't backup money. They gave him $40 million for 2 years. So,
Okay.
whether you agree with it or not,
All right,
it
so
seems
they-
as if they're really
so they have
behind Fields.
a decent quarterback right now. I'll be honest, I don't know what they could do here. I don't even have anything written down of what the Jets take.
It's either going to be a tight end or it's
Jets
going to
at
be.
7.
And then they got rid of Conklin's with the Chargers. I think now they got rid of him.
So
So
on
they
the-
need another. I mean, I could see them taking Warren or
So
that
on-
other Michigan
On the
tight end.
NFL draft projection sheet that I have, they have the Missouri tackle, the
Yeah, it's-
Mbao
yeah.
going there.
Yeah.
So I don't. Like I said, I don't have a clue here, guys.
That's where I had them going at first, but I just had the Jags in case they end up staying. Like if they want to go tackle to protect
Yeah.
Lawrence, that's me shooting at something. I don't think that's my ball's gonna end up there. He's probably gonna end up in New York, but if I had to pick anybody, it might be the tight end. I don't. Whoever gets picked is getting booed, so I don't care who.
Yeah, that's just sort of the New York.
I'm going Tyler
Feeling.
Warren. I'm going tight end at 7 for them. They're in a weird spot. Like they could really trade up. I could see them, or someone could trade up into their spot.
Yeah,
Where they're at there.
yeah. We were
I-
talking about that pre-talk for the show. Like everyone's talking about who's going to trade
Yeah.
up. The Jets might trade down. They're juicy
Yeah,
to
that's-
trade down. But assuming they don't trade down, I have them taking Will Campbell. Offensive tackle is a very valued and glamorized position, and if he's 4 on most boards, and I don't have him gone yet, I don't think he falls. You got the pen, George.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Much past 7. So give me Will Campbell to the Jets.
Okay. Yeah, I'm saying the Jets are going to take a tackle too, but I'm going to stick on the projection seat because I think the LSU tackle's a little bit better. Yeah, I'm going to go Membo at 7. I hate to do it because I haven't changed any of my picks. I'm staying on the projection sheet.
No, I'm gonna
But-
follow you. Like I said, I don't know if Campbell and Membo will like switch back and forth. I don't know exactly which one's better. I've heard more about Campbell. That's why I'm picking him to go higher. But whatever one of those tackles are available, so I'm gonna have to stick with the 7.
All right, really quick. When we already spoke a little bit about Aaron Rodgers. Where does he sign? I know we've talked about, and he's been everywhere about meeting with the Steelers. Does he ultimately sign with the Steelers? Does he sign anywhere else? Does he end up retiring? What do you think Aaron Rodgers does?
I don't think he signs before opening day. And I think it's possible that he pulls sort of a 2009 Roger Clemens and, like, gets weird and signs somewhere week 2 or 3. I'm not saying it's likely, it's possible. But I feel like he stays unsigned opening day, and then we listen to some annoying rumors that may or may not go somewhere. That's how I have him.
I don't know if he does that because he's getting older.
Like, there's not
He's
an official timeline for deciding. But
he hit his mic on accident.
Sorry, but I feel like he's spinning the Steelers like a top. Like, there's no rule that says you have to give.
Nothing wrong with
any
that.
organization. Yeah, sure. There's no. That's why I love how he's living in the gray area, like we all know Aaron Rodgers loves to do. Like, it's not illegal to not give a team an answer 2 days before the draft, but at the same time, overwhelming conventional wisdom says you get your signings in order and then evaluate your needs for the draft. So it's just like, I feel like a no answer is an answer of no with Pittsburgh. Yeah. Like,
I agree.
Shit or get off the pot. Like, he would have said he was coming there, or he's not.
Pittsburgh runs their organization so old school, and they always have. It's like they cut the receiver. The prima donna receivers are like, get the fuck out. They're just like, they don't deal with the shit.
Even their tackle, Hayward was talking about. He's like, no, like, Enigma stuff or no hippie shit. I forget what he was talking about on it. He had an article about it.
But he pretty much, because I read it too. He's like, pretty much like, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. Like, if you want to be here, get the fuck here. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm sick of just all the bullshit
the way
that
people
it.
speculate and gossip, like, maybe there's more to it than he's spinning them. But, yes, in a big, crowded locker room with a 53-man roster, there's at least 10 to 20 people being like, man, fuck this dude. He hasn't answered yet. Like, if he does come back, we're his safety school. It's not like his heart's into it. So
my hot take, my prediction is he's going to do the Flacco route. He's going to wait throughout some of the year. I don't hope no one gets hurt. But I still think he ends up being with the 49ers. I think Purdy gets his money. He somehow gets hurt. They need a quarterback. I ain't got nobody for backup. He ends up signing there. They plug him in. I mean, they're not bad. I mean,
the Niners. Dude, you're from here. We've got 4 good pass rushers. Come on over.
The Niners has always been his team. That was a team that they drafted him.
He wanted him to draft. Yeah.
I think that's his last bucket. He ain't gonna say it. I don't think he gives a shit.
I was kind of really hoping that he was going to go to Minnesota and complete the trifecta Favre.
Yeah, it was literally
that'd have been awesome.
Yeah. That would have been less snaps for your stupid Michigan quarterback.
Shit, he's going to tear it up. You watch.
I mean, if
his ACL, he's going to tear up his ACL?
No, you watch.
Oh, you mean the league?
Yeah, the league.
We'll see.
All right, let's go to the Panthers. They drafted 8. They need a whole lot as well, guys.
They do need a whole lot. I have the Panthers getting Mason Graham. They need a good lineman. As much as I hate to give Michigan guys props, it's inevitable Mason Graham goes in the top 10, so why not now? I have the Panthers taking Mason Graham. They're a pretty open book as far as needs, and Graham's definitely no lower than 7 on most boards, so why not take him at 8?
Yeah, I got the same. They need help all around. I don't think they trade out. I don't think they trade up. They stay where they're at. They take who's ever there. Protect Bryce Young. It's one of my main things is if you're not getting a huge player, you take something to protect your quarterback or make your offense better. But
I agree, and especially what's the quarterback? I can't draw on blanks. You said his name. What's the quarterback?
Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young. You know, he runs around quite a bit. He likes to move. You got to protect him. Probably an offensive lineman of some sort.
Unless Genty falls to them at 8 somehow, then they take him. But
could be. Like I said, the Panthers.
Hubbard's still a pretty good back, though. Ain't he still there?
Yeah,
Hubbard's there.
Yeah.
He's probably not good enough to, move your policy if Genty's there, but
right. Based on this sheet that I have in front of me, the Panthers need an edge, a safety, cornerback, wide receiver, and defensive lineman. Which you said perfect Mason Graham, possibly if he falls to there, which I don't know if he will.
Yeah,
could be an interesting pick.
Yeah, I haven't fallen there, so I'm going there.
I'm going to go an offensive lineman up there somewhere because they need to protect. So we'll see what they do there. Dilbert.
I don't know. I'm thinking if they might draft outside the top 10 or not, because I don't know if they're going to want. I don't know if they need Graham there. That's like it's the talents in there, but like
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to want somebody more on the offensive. But
No sign McMillan they end up saying screw it, and like they don't care what anyone's big board says. They want to take a wide receiver at 8. They take a wide receiver at 8, but
I think they're going to take some sort of wide receiver.
yeah. So they're all over the place. I don't know what.
That's what I said. They're just so messed up that I don't have a fucking clue.
It's Carolina, so I don't.
All right, let's get into the Saints. They're drafted at 9, which is very interesting. This drama with Derek Carr and hurting his shoulder at the end of last season, and Derek Carr wanting this contract extension. If H.A.S.R Sanders does not get drafted in the top 3, I think the Saints could possibly take him at 9. So I'm going Sanders to the Saints at 9. How are you guys feeling?
It's the Saints are either drafting Sanders or Dart. Those are my two, but obviously for where they stay at 9, if they do, it's going to be Sanders. I don't see why they wouldn't take him.
Okay.
Derek Carr sucks, whatever his name is.
And we don't even know if he's healthy.
Exactly. And the whole Saints organization, they're such in a cap fuck right now that they need, they got a whole new people coming in. They want to draft their quarterback, their own person. It's got to be Sanders at 9. Now, for TV purposes, if they don't draft him at 9, he might fall. I don't know.
Yeah.
But.
Oh, yeah, then the TV will have fun. Yeah, keep panning to him.
Yeah, they'll pan.
How far will he fall?
Yep.
Deion's going to have a fucking meltdown on
Dude,
TV.
I'll never forget the draft with Brady Quinn. He dropped out of the top 10. Then we
that's
got him
right.
at
He was supposed to
22,
go
I
a lot
believe.
higher.
Then the girlfriend walks out the room always. That's how it goes. That's how ESPN gets their bit.
I mean, it could. The best pan was when Russell Wilson got drafted with his ex-girlfriend. I
Yeah,
know you've seen
I
that
think
picture. She's like,
I think I sent it on the thing. There's
she's
like
there's a
1 week
still
from being
picture.
your ex-girlfriend or something.
Yeah, so funny. But
I think the Saints are going to pick up Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart over H.A.S.R. So you think Jackson
Well,
Dart?
I had H.A.S.R.
Oh, okay.
with the Giants, so
Okay.
but I think Dart. That's where Dart will go. I
Okay.
can just see him fitting in Missouri, close to Louisiana, not too far away. I could just see it happening down there.
Okay. Like I said, I think Sanders is going to drop. If the Saints don't take him, who fucking knows where he winds up? Which could be interesting because then I could see a potential if Sanders does drop out of the top 10. Who knows where he goes? That's when I could potentially, if the Browns draft Hunter at 2, I could see us jumping back into the first round and taking H.A.S.R Sanders. I could see it happening. And then you get them both. Like, what a story.
Especially once it slips to, like, say, the mid to late teams and the price really goes down. If we were already kicking the tires on a trade, like, oh, we don't want to play that pick 13 money,
Yeah.
and then he's still there at 16 or 17. And
Yeah.
like,
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Especially I'd use that 33 pick
a lot
as
cheaper.
bait. That and maybe some next year and draft, but I wouldn't give up a lot to take him. I don't see it.
And I've said this in even our last show. I said I think H.A.S.R Sanders is special. I really, really do. I just don't know if he fits in Cleveland. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be good for drama and intrigue and speculation if the Saints passed on him, but I don't think they will. I have the Saints taking H.A.S.R Sanders. He's
Okay.
still on my board at 9, and I have the Saints taking him at 9.
All right, let's get into the Bears, baby. I think this is a no-brainer with Tyler Warren sticking around there at number 10. And I know I've stuck almost on the sheet outside of one pick, but I think Tyler Warren is a badass. I think he's arguably a top 5 pick if it wasn't for the top, this top 5. I think he's pretty stud tight end from Penn State. I think he's a playmaker. And if you watched any Penn State last year, he was the absolute stud on the field in any game he was in.
Yeah, I mean, they want to open up the offense. I mean, they just signed Cole Kmet last year, and like it's a crazy deal, and he didn't do nothing last year. The year he had before. So I mean, if they take best person available, then at 10, if they don't move up, I think they're going to trade up. I don't see. They're talking about one of these teams is going to want to fall back.
Well, since, like I said, with so technically the Jaguars are at 10 because the Bears went to, I think the Jaguars go with Jalen Walker, the Georgia linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking the same too, just for
I
who's
know
available.
I think it's just, I think they want to have you've got to have a solid linebacking core, and will be a good piece in Jacksonville, even if he's got to grow and take a couple years. But I think he's going to be a great linebacker in the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Walker going at 10, just for best person available. I think they make, like I said, I think they make a trade in the first round. I don't know where it's going to be or what. I think they're the wild cards. They're going to shake up some in this top 5, and our picks are just going to be freaking crisscrossed after that. But I like Genty going there. I had 10. If they somehow trade up to him, they end up. He would fit the mold perfectly in Chicago. Perfect.
Especially if the quarterback.
Yeah.
You have a young quarterback there. It could help him out for right away.
Yeah.
Huh.
And you put the team on his back at Boise.
Interesting.
Get him in some cold weather, man. He's a machine.
Tito, who'd you have the Bears drafted?
I have him taking Hampton, the running back from UNC.
Okay, so
You're
running
talking
back.
about him,
Yeah,
Okay.
going back to how
man.
Mixon, Jacobs, and Barkley all like more than earned their big money free agent contracts. I think the running back comes all the way back. Anyone could sort of write off one running back in the top 10, but I think Hampton from UNC, his draft grade's only 2 points lower than Genty. He gets the nod at 10 to the Bears. So, Hampton from UNC to the Bears, rounding out the top 10 for myself.
All right, I want to give a quick update. Game 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers are, they're tearing it up right now. They're up 59-42 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and they're going off. They started out slow that first quarter.
I had a feeling
and I think it was like 14-4 to start the game for Miami. But now the Cavs, man, they're pulling away quick.
Yeah, if we keep putting it to them, a 75-50 halftime's in play, and you've got to feel pretty good about that.
God, 75 points in the first quarter or the first half is pretty damn good.
We would need to maintain this somewhat aggressive pace, but yeah, I feel like we got 59 with 4 minutes left. It can happen. So
tell Jared Allen to get some freaking rebounds. We're still up. He only has 1.
Well, there you have it, our projected top 10 picks of the NFL draft, and we're looking forward to tomorrow night. I'm actually going down to the Brown Stadium. Journey's playing, and my friend got tickets, so I'll be down there tomorrow night. I'm going to try possibly to get an interview or go live or some sort down there tomorrow at one point or another, kind of like Tito did down at the Indians game today. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. I just hope the Browns going to fuck it up. They're going to trade back. And we're all going to be like, what the fuck?
Like trade back, like to 17 and not even get a good haul.
Yeah.
Like, I know Alex Mack ended up having a good career, but remember how bitter we were when we traded back for Alex Mack?
Yeah.
Because he was something like pick 17, and we had like a juicy-ass pick. So that was like just a double gut punch. Like, oh, fuck, they traded way back? Oh, and then they took a center?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Even the draft, when we drafted Joe Thomas, people were so mad they didn't draft Brady Quinn at, what was that, 1 or 2?
3.
Was it 3?
3.
They were so mad Brady Quinn didn't get drafted. I was so mad. I'm like, why did you fucking... Looking back on it, like, it was a great fucking
fuck
pick.
that. I'll still never get over them trading with Atlanta when they took Julio Jones. We were at number 7.
That's why everyone...
We were at number 7.
Yeah.
Prime to take him. I'm like, oh, my God, yes. We were finally going to get a fucking stud on offense for once.
Yeah.
And that was a disaster like before. And I was like, then they traded. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I was like, he was there.
Speaking of another fucking draft pick that I was like, what the fuck about?
Big money Gerard Warren?
No, I
that didn't work out that
I
sweet.
wanted Justin Blackman so
Oh,
bad.
Dude, talk about a generational bust. I wanted him bad, too.
I just saw
I think we had the 5 that year.
5,
he went 7 to the Jags.
Gonna,
I forget
yeah,
who
it
we
was the
passed on
Jags.
him for.
You're going to laugh, though.
Do you remember who we passed on him for?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess that's part of the point. But
I just saw a picture on Twitter. He got arrested
Yeah,
for something you wouldn't even – he
Right.
looks like a big 300-pound man.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't even understand. Like, he does
Right.
not even look the same.
Like an extra from the Fat Albert show.
Yeah.
Like, you were in the NFL, dude? Like, man, fall from grace, man.
Cavs are hitting everything.
Yeah, they are.
All
Like
right.
I said, 75-point first half.
Let's wrap up this show so we can watch the rest of this Cavs game, watch the whole second half. All right, gentlemen, before you end the show, do you have any final last skid marks?
I hope the Cavs don't step on their dick like normal, and hopefully they take Hunter. I'd like to see him get back into the first round, just see what the heck happens. If we could take a player away from Pittsburgh, yeah, it's fine with me.
If the Cavs did have a dick, it would be a big BBC. Just
The way they're fucking Garland's putting it on them right now. But besides that, Guardians just keep chipping away at what they're doing. Tito fill you in on that, but
Tito,
that's it.
final last words, skid marks?
Yeah, final last words.
You want this?
Josh Hartley, the
Yeah,
middle
I'll keep
tier.
this.
That's fine. Before the show's over, I'll grab it in a second. Josh Hartley, the middle tier of the Andre Jimenez two-tier trade flip. Just got player of the week for the captains, 8 scoreless innings. They're still kind of, or 8 very good innings with 11 strikeouts. I believe they were scoreless. And, again, like I said, everyone who got pissed when Jimenez hit 3 home runs the first week, Hartley's the second tier of the 3 pitchers that we got in that double-tiered Jimenez trade. And he's been a beast for Lake County, and I think he's got a bright future for us, and he'll make us forget all about Jimenez, Andres Hu, and also doing big work. We all want someone to stir up the Dodgers. Jung-Hoo Lee of the Giants, you're likely NL batting champ for 2025. So, yes, I'm not necessarily a Giants fan, but anyone that can slow the Dodgers down and stop those fucking assholes from winning 120 games, Jung-Hoo Lee, win that batting title and stir up that race. Dilbert?
Mr. Dilbert himself.
It's weird. We got a first-round pick when we haven't had one in so
It was a
long.
nice break,
Houston-
not having to live and die by the draft.
Houston doesn't have a first-round pick. Ha-ha.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
How the tables are turned.
Oh, but my new
Wait, I thought every team in the NFL has a first-round pick this year.
I think it was every team that had one didn't move it. They were focusing on no trades. Houston had probably already flipped the pick.
I thought all.
I think that was the
I
article.
thought all 32 had them. I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
after.
we'll have to look it up. I know what you're saying. I read that article to that effect, but yeah.
But, and the new saying, it pays to be saucy.
It pays to be
Yeah,
saucy.
that's my new saying.
All right.
Pays to be saucy.
Well, just remember, sauce
The
is
bank's
always
open.
sauce
Oh,
is
my
always better
goodness.
than juice.
Right.
Juice
And Sauce
gets-
Gardner's overrated. Yeah. Well, anyway, sorry, you were saying.
And you know, my final last skid mark is always live and die with the quarterback, baby, and the deep ball.
Even if you're Chad Pennington?
I love Chad Pennington, brother.
Oh, Marshall, brother.
I did. I really liked him in New York.
All right.
This was the last time the Jets were honorable
Yeah.
outside of Mark Sanchez.
More or less.
Butt fumble.
Butt
Yeah.
fumble.
All right, well, there you have it. As always, I'm George Gresker alongside Aaron Adams, Hunter Combs, and
There we
the
go.
baseball whisperer himself, Tito Round Tripper Baseball Whisperer. Please share the show, tell a friend, follow us across all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Be on the lookout for our next sports report, which I don't know when it will be. The next big event here soon, probably the NBA, one of the NBA Finals games, something like that in the playoffs. But be on the lookout for our next sports report. Don't forget, Honest Abe will tell no lie. Goodbye. See you right.